And joining us now, Democratic Congresswoman Katie Porter of California. She's a member of the House Committee on Oversight and Reform. And after a tough re-election win, she was recently overseas in Rome, Jordan, Afghanistan, and Iraq, and spent Thanksgiving in Kuwait, serving meals to our service members. And want to hear about all of that in just a moment, and I look forward to it. I'm just curious, politics of the day, though. What do you think, with the Dems in the minority, is in the realm of possibility in terms of what would you would like to accomplish moving forward?
Well, I think we're going to see a closely divided House, which is what we've had this Congress, and yet we've still been able to deliver things. So I'm going into this Congress with the same mindset I went in when Democrats were in charge, which is I want to get things done for the people of California. And we have real challenges in our economy as well as overseas. And so what I've seen firsthand in my own committee that I chair is we are continuing to work together just like we did before, even as we prepare to hand over the majority to Republicans. So I'm optimistic. My duty to do oversight doesn't change, whether Democrats or Republicans are in the White House or in charge of Congress. It's a commitment to the American people that I'm going to deliver on.
All right, we're going to get to your trip. I just want to also ask you about Iran, which, obviously big win for Team USA yesterday, and a lot of concern for the Iranian team as they've been facing threats, even their family as well, for standing up for the women of Iran who have been protesting across the country. What do you think our policy should be? Any change, any tightening of sanctions?
We definitely in the United States need to find strategies to support the people of Iran as they move toward, hopefully, a more free and more democratic Iran. The situation on the ground is extremely concerning. We've heard that not only from the Iranian community, including in Orange County, which has one of the largest Iranian communities in the country, but also we heard it from our regional partners. I heard it from military commanders that I talked to. I heard it from our foreign service offices. The entire region is at risk as Iran is destabilized by these protests. So I think the United States needs to figure out what are the tactics we can best use to support the people of Iran, recognizing that this regime has been brutal, both in the past and today in its crackdown on civilians, including children and journalists.
Congresswoman Porter, you served Thanksgiving dinner to American troops who are stationed in Kuwait over the holidays. Can you talk about the troops that you visited with in Kuwait and Iraq, and then what you learned about the mission still today in Iraq from our men and women serving there?
Well, this trip was led by Chairman Mark Takano of the House Veterans Affairs Committee. And one of the things we have to do to keep our promises to our veterans is understand what their experience is like when they serve, particularly in the most difficult posts in the most dangerous countries in the world, including in places like Iraq and Jordan. So we were able to talk with the troops about why they came to serve our country, what they need from us on the back end, whether it's educational benefits, housing benefits, skills training, job opportunities. I personally was really taken with the commitment to the mission, particularly the partnership that we are building in Jordan and Iraq. The United States has recently taken a somewhat different approach, I should say an additive approach, to how we train foreign security forces through something called the Security Force Assistance Brigade. And I was very impressed with these partnerships. We were able to see both in Iraq and Jordan how we are really using our skills to build skills in these security partners. So it was an incredible trip. Thank you to all the servicemen and women who dined with us, who talked with us in each of these countries about their experience.
Congresswoman, thanks for being with us this morning. I want to ask you about your election, which was actually just called less than 2 weeks ago. Maybe tighter than you hoped it would be, tighter than you expected it to be, given you're the incumbent. You outraised your Republican opponent by about 10-1. What did you learn from that race about what kind of issues are important to the people in your district, but also nationally?
I absolutely knew it would be a tough race. I know Orange County, I had 70% new voters, and I think because of redistricting. And I think anytime you have new voters, you are more at risk of the general partisan wins, as opposed to when you're a traditional incumbent, people know who you are. They've seen you deliver on your promises. We saw that here in the election results. The community I currently represent, Irvine, came through very strongly for me, but in those new communities, people were questioning, is she a Biden Democrat? What's she like? What's she going to do about this and that. They didn't know my track record, which is why it was a tough race. But look, I had been saying for a year plus, inflation is a real problem for families. It affects their everyday decisions they make in the grocery store, with their kids, with their planning. It's a real problem. Democrats have taken steps, and we need to continue to push forward on that. We are the party that delivers a strong and stable economy for the working people of America, and we need to make sure we do not lose that focus as we go into the next Congress.
Congresswoman Katie Porter, thank you very much for being on this morning. We appreciate it.